Super Mario Party Jamboree has been claimed by Nintendo as the biggest Mario Party yet, boasting a record-breaking 110 plus minigames and the largest character roster in the series. However, it doesn't currently match this in terms of board quantity. There are currently 7 confirmed boards, with 5 new ones and 2 classics. If we take the biggest Mario Party yet statement quite literally, then it factually falls short. Just Mario Party 1 launched with 8 boards, and Mario Party 6 and 9 both had 7, which equals Jamboree's current amount. By simply getting 1 additional board, this would make that statement practically true, just equaling Mario Party 1 as the largest in the series. Personally speaking, 7 boards are more than enough for me, especially given their impressive size, themes, and unique gimmicks. But there might be room for some more, and today, I'll be predicting if additional boards are realistically possible, and if so, which classic boards have the highest likelihood of making a return in Super Mario Party Jamboree. Before we get started, just be aware that I am giving away a copy of Super Mario Party Jamboree when the game launches. Just simply be subscribed and you'll be in the running for it. Let's go ahead and start what we know has a glaring omission. There is 1 board from Mario Party 1, being Mario's Rainbow Castle, and 1 from Mario Party 2, being Western Land. There is no representation for Mario Party 3. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Mario Party Superstars featured 5 classic boards, 2 from Mario Party 1, 2 from Mario Party 2, and 1 from Mario Party 3. This should instantly ring alarm bells, as more boards are not guaranteed just because 1 misses out. So please don't take this video as instant confirmation. But could more boards be possible? The answer is yes. We've seen that all the boards are present on the far right island in Jamboree, but there is notable ongoing construction around Bowser's Keep, Western Land, and Mario's Rainbow Castle, which does suggest that these boards could potentially be unlockable. Pointed out by Mario Party Legacy, there is also an intriguing empty plot of land with a ladder on the main island and a very noticeable crack in the wall. This has sparked many theories that this may be an interactable board selection kind of vibe. This could, however, just simply be a design element, or it may just be a hint that we could be seeing some more content, but it really depends on who you ask. I do think there's enough question marks though to at least have a fun hypothetical discussion surrounding what boards could potentially make a return if we were to see at least 1 additional board. I'm thinking personally, there's a realistic chance that we could see at least 1. Mario Party 3 is the only game from the N64 era without any representation in Jamboree, and it's the only one that's kind of likely for me if there was to be 1 more board. Therefore, I'm gonna focus solely on Mario Party 3 boards in this video, and there's a nice 6 of them. So let's examine each one in the order they appear on Mario Party 3's board selection screen and see how likely they are to return based on their themes and gameplay, just compared to our current lineup of boards that we know about in Jamboree. I'll even be seeing where they could potentially fit on the nice island of boards that we currently see. The ranking will consist of 5 tiers, with there being very likely, likely, possible, unlikely, and very unlikely. Let's not waste any time. Kicking us off is Chilly Waters. I wanted this board so badly in Mario Party Superstars. Thematically, it would have been perfect, as it's the only winter-themed board in the N64 trilogy. However, its gameplay mechanics didn't quite fit, especially with the Icy Junction being very similar to Spaceland's Bowser Beam Junction. In Super Mario Party Jamboree, Chilly Water theme remains unique. It's a stock standard star hunting board set in a winter wonderland, featuring both day and night sections. It honestly still looks stunning to this very day, and if it featured in Jamboree, it would be the only board that features a night segment along with a winter theme. From what we currently know about Jamboree's boards, its gimmicks also appear to stand out. The only board that might be similar is King Bowser's Keep, which just features Bowser in the center. That could potentially clash with Chilly Water's Icy Junction, but I am quite doubtful it will. It's hard to know Bowser's exact gimmick in King Bowser's Keep, since we haven't seen gameplay yet. The primary feature seems to involve a large magical Bowser figure in the middle, but it appears to be more of a central loop with conveyors, which may suggest it could potentially change your direction, making players almost be stuck on that little island loop, a little similar to Bowser in Peach's birthday cake from Mario Party 1. This at face value doesn't look like it'll act like the Frozen Junction mechanic from Chilly Waters. If you're unfamiliar, in the center of Chilly Waters is a giant frozen lake leading in 3 separate directions. Each path has an arrow in front of it, and players have to run across the arrow, pointing towards their chosen path. If a player slips while running up the path, they simply can't move any further. Additionally, if 2 or more characters ends up on the frozen lake, the lake does crack, sending them all to the bottom of the board. This isn't the only gimmick though. At the very top of the board, a giant Mr. Blizzard can be seen sleeping. If players approach him, they can pay him to throw a giant snowball, and this forces any player in the path into a nice little action time. If you don't jump over the snowball, you simply get pushed back, and the snowballs also get triggered if you do land on a happening space as well, and that is unlike anything we've seen so far in Jamboree. Now, in terms of the island design itself, I can't quite see Chilly Waters fitting in comfortably with what we currently see. The fact we can't see any nice little wintry segments on the island is somewhat holding it back, but who says it can't just be further in the distance, on an icy glacier, or just something we can't see? I think it'll be pretty easy to implement, but the unique theme and the gimmicks of Chilly Waters make it incredibly appealing for a return. I've gone back and forth on this one for a while, but I've decided to place it in the very likely category. The only thing I'm slightly concerned about is honestly just the island's layout. Next up is Deep Bloober Sea. As per its naming convention, this board is an underwater based board, inhabited by many Mario underwater life forms, including Cheep Cheeps, Bloopers, and even Sushi the shark. There are also several different natural formations under there, like volcanoes and sunken submarines on the board map, but these are just design elements. Thematically, nothing else in Super Mario Party Jamboree comes close to Deep Bloober Sea at face value, as, you know, it's set underwater. The closest comparison we do have is Goomba Lagoon, which features water surrounding the actual board, an active volcano, and a broken down ship, but I wouldn't say it really clashes. Gimmick-wise, Deep Bloober Sea is a stock standard star hunting board that is essentially just a split path board. It features several junctions, with the main one overseen by Sushi in a submarine. She simply controls who passes and doesn't. Adding to the board hopping experience is the mother blooper. Landing on a happening space near the center of the board just causes a baby blooper to cry that just moves players to the opposite side of the board. Additionally, there's even an anglerfish located at the very top of the board, and you guessed it, they even redirect players to different parts of the board. Gimmick-wise, Deep Bloober Sea is relatively unique with its board hopping design. From the top of my mind, I don't really see any other boards in Jamboree at the moment that really clash with this at all. I mean, if you want to stretch it, you could potentially say maybe, I don't know, Goomba Lagoon when the tide comes in, but again, it doesn't really act like it at all, so I'm just going to say it doesn't clash. In terms of the island layout, Deep Bloober Sea might be the best candidate for a secret location since it's naturally hidden underwater. So theming wise, I would say it's very likely, gimmick wise it's very likely, and island design wise it's very likely. So you guessed it, this board is going into the very likely category, and I'm going to put it ahead of Chilly Waters, even though I want Chilly Waters more. Next we have Spiny Desert. I simply adore this board, man. As per its naming convention, it's a desert themed playground, and it's filled with your typical pokies, kleptos, and even a chain chomp. I really love the backdrop of this board, with the pyramids, the canyons, and all the scattered bones. It just really captures that essence of being in a desert. I love how this board is divided into 2 sections, one bathed in daylight, and the other that's under a lunar eclipse. It's just a nice different kind of twist to a standard desert theme you find in a Mario game. Thematically, straight up, Spiny Desert clashes with Westernland, both being desert themed. However, its nighttime setting is a standout feature since no other Jamboree board is set at night. Also, unlike Westernland's straightforward star hunting approach, Spiny Desert adds a nice twist. Players need to find the real star among 2 options, with one being a mirage. This unique star objective does set it apart from Westernland. However, you could say that Mario's Rainbow Castle kind of clashes with this, as in that board, you can either encounter Toad or Bowser, which would determine the outcome if you get the star or not. But in my opinion, Spiny Desert does this so much better, as you're literally traveling to 2 separate star locations, and you know that just one isn't going to be real, and you have to take that risk. It's pretty cool. The cactus event in Spiny Desert is also unique, where players have to leap over 2 cacti to cross in an action time event. The 2 sinking sand areas are pretty cool, and I love how they send you to the opposite side of the board if you do land on a happening space. This is a nice little bit of unpredictability, which I guess hasn't been seen yet in Jamboree so far. In terms of the island design itself, Jamboree does have a large desert area. This at face value looks like it would just be home to Westernland, but it is big enough to house 2 boards. But I am doubtful, even with those bones on the bottom right hand side. Very akin to what you find in Spiny Desert. But overall, Spiny Desert for me seems unlikely, just due to the thematic clashes, overlapping gimmicks, and the island clash as well. I really like this board. I recently went back and replayed it with my family, and it was just a whole lot of fun. So it really does hurt me to put this in the unlikely category. Now we're halfway through the video, I thought it'd be a good chance to tell you that I also have a Discord server called the Swift Cafe Discord, and I have Twitter as well, which I do like to tweet occasionally. Make sure to just get onto both those platforms, as it's the best way to get onto a future Swiftjar video, and also I have a few occasional giveaways going on there as well, so make sure to jump in so you don't miss out. Links can be found in the description and also the pinned comment. Taking us to the 4th board on the list, we have Woody Woods. I'm going to be extremely brief on this one, and get straight to the goddamn point. This is going straight into the very unlikely category, just because it was remade in Mario Party Superstars, literally on the same console. And also, its theme clashes directly with Mega Wiggler's Tree Party, as both are set in the woods, and both have one lighter side and even one darker side. I don't need to go any further into this, it's just not happening, it's very unlikely. Taking us to second to last now, we have Creepy Cavern. This is simply a board of 2 halves, which is set in an underground cavern, all connected by a nice little minecart system, and just filled with a nice diverse cast of Mario characters. Think your Womps, Thwomps, Bats, Dories, and even lava bubbles. On the right, you'll find mining tools and crystal-filled minecarts. You'll find a nice lava section in the middle, and on the left side, you'll find a nice lagoon type of vibe, where you can even see a Dory swimming around. Thematically, Creepy Cavern might seem similar to Bowser's Keep with its cavern setting and lava, but they are quite different upon closer inspection. But this could be considered a clash to some, and I'm on the fence about it. The main gimmick could also potentially clash with Bowser's Keep depending on who you ask. I'm of course talking about the mine tracks in the center. These are operated by a Thwomp who is stationed along the track. By riding these tracks, it just allows you to traverse from one side to the other. Additionally, there is a giant Womp who blocks the main path, kind of adding another layer of strategy. Bowser's Keep could potentially clash with this as well. It features Bowser in the center, and it looks like the main way of traveling around the board is by using those warp pipes that you can find around it, but we just won't know until we play it. In terms of island design though, Creepy Cavern stands out as extremely likely, especially compared to the others, maybe aside from Deep Bloober Sea. There's a very suspicious crack in the wall here with moss on the floor. It looks extremely similar to the left side of Creepy Cavern. It would be super easy for a second cavern to be integrated here. However, as said at the start, this island design may just be a thematic choice and nothing more. Despite all these elements, I'm going to place Creepy Cavern in the likely category. It does share a lot of similarities with King Bowser's Keep on the surface, yet, in my opinion, it does offer enough to be unique, and if it were to come, I think it would stand out pretty well. Last, but certainly not least, we have the Waluigi Island. This board is simply complete and utter chaos, and I absolutely love it. Thematically, it's extremely similar to Goomba Lagoon, as, you know, they are both island-based boards. However, Waluigi Island ramps up the intensity as almost a grand finale type of board, which, unfortunately, would clash with the finale kind of vibe that King Bowser's Keep has. Both of these boards also have a lot of warp pipes around there as well, so I guess that's kind of a clash too. Waluigi's Island is designed with threatening ambience, featuring a lot of traps and a lot of challenges to navigate the board freely. The biggest gimmick of this board is the bomb in the middle, which unfortunately takes your coins if it does detonate. This at face value doesn't look like it would clash with anything we've seen in Jamboree so far, but again, it probably could clash with King Bowser's Keep, with Bowser maybe taking your coins in the middle. Again, we just simply don't know. The other gimmick of Waluigi's Island though is navigating the board itself. It's tough and it requires timing to get to the area that you want to go to when in the central location. That in particular is unlike anything we've seen in Jamboree so far. Integrating Waluigi's Island into the board lineup would be extremely easy as well, as this is another board on an island, which ironically lines up that the whole entire theming of the the island itself is on an island, so it just makes sense. Put it anywhere. So considering all of this, Waluigi stands out to me as just possible. It is held back to its sheer difficulty that would potentially clash with King Bowser's Keep, plus the theming obviously clashes with Goomba's Lagoon. So I'm going to be pretty content in placing it in the possible category. So to round it all up, we have a Deep Bloober Sea and Chilly Waters in the very likely category, Creepy Cavern in the likely category, Waluigi Island in the possible category, Spiny Desert in the unlikely category, and Woody Woods in the very unlikely category. But what about you? Do you think we could get more boards than we currently know about? And if so, which board do you think is the most likely? If you did enjoy this video, I strongly suggest you check out my other most recent Super Mario Party Jamboree videos on character predictions, all the secrets that I've discovered from the trailer footage, and my thoughts on Jamboree and the Nintendo Direct as a whole. I have a lot more content planned to release for Mario Party, and the support of just simply liking, leaving a comment, and subscribing really helps out that algorithm. Stay tuned, as I have some really in-depth board analysis videos coming very soon. But until next time, take care of yourselves, grab yourself a nice glass of water to stay hydrated, and goodbye.